Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Hero House Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the new Masterverse figures, and we're going to start with the man himself, He-Man. Now this is him in his design from Masters of the Universe Revelations, which was a contentious show on many levels, as we discussed in another video, but we're just going to look at the figure here and try and detach it from all of that scenario, we'll call it. And figure-wise, I mean, if you look at him from maybe there down, he's quite a solid figure. I mean, he seems to have decent articulation, nice balance. That's a good, like, well-sculpted ab area. It's unique, I think. It looks quite real to me. But then the chest on this He-Man is just way too small and narrow and pressed in, and it makes him look a bit weird as you go from the top. Like, if I lower his arm and have him pose, I guess that's not too bad, but just the shape of his chest is weird, and that's, I think, what makes this figure look so weird, because he's so thick and muscular around that area. It's just a weird sculpt. And then the head, it's not a good face sculpt at all, and mine has a very annoying patch of brown paint that's just slapped right in the middle of his forehead, so it's in probably the most inconvenient, noticeable spot ever, which is annoying. But he also needs a wash to make him more defined, because he's just flat plastic. There's really no shading done on his muscles whatsoever, or any part of him. And that would have just added so much. There's some shading in the hair, but not enough to really warrant mention. I like the sword. The power sword, I think, has been done well. It's got, the metallic sheen on the blade. It's long and hefty. The handle is painted. The shield is also passable. And I like how he's got the actual H design on the chest. So in terms of design, it's not too bad. It's just the face, and that terrible paint job, and the narrow chest. Why would they give him such a narrow chest? It's He-Man. If anyone should have a huge chest, it's He-Man. But I'm getting away from this. So anyway, he can look that far down. He can look that far up. So decent range of head motion. Little bit of attitude is stopped by the hair, mostly. You will get pretty much 90 degrees from that shoulder joint, and he's got a bicep swivel. It's going to give you 360. Double jointed elbow would give you more than 90, but he's got the big old muscle, so you've just got a little bit more than 90. He's got a diaphragm joint that decent range of motion, no real crunch to speak of, so that's how you're going to go forward. You can go that much forward, that much back. And he's got a swivel at the waist. Can't do the splits because of his shorts. Leg can come forward about that much, but it's pushed back down again by the skirt. You have a cut in the thigh, 360. Double jointed knee, which gives you more than 90. And yeah, you have a shin swivel. His foot can go down that much, can go up that much, and pivots that much. So, not great articulation. Decent balance, which I appreciate. And he's quite a hefty boy as well. I mean, who do I have close to hand? If we get in Maverick, one of the bigger Marvel Legends figures, He-Man's actually taller, slightly bigger, which is surprising, because Maverick's very tall for Marvel Legends. Let's get Jack in there. See, he absolutely towers over Jack. I think they're meant to be a 7-inch scale. Where do I land on this guy? It's not as bad as the promo photos made it out to be. I'm not as crushingly disappointed as I thought it was going to be. When you see it from a distance, it's definitely noticeable as He-Man, and the chest isn't as big of an issue. It's just when you get close that it's a problem. And he doesn't move fantastically, but it's not, like, super limited. And I want to try and detach myself from the actual show when I make this review. How to be unbiased when it's so influential. 3.5 out of 5. Accessories-wise, he has the shield and the sword and a few extra hands, but that's not, an inundation of accessories. And there's just no shading on him in the parts there should be. It's a really lazy paint job. Mine especially is ruined by that single sloppy bit of paint, which is so annoying. Yeah. 3.5 out of 5. It is not a great effort, not what we wanted, not what you hoped for, but it's not awful by any means. You could definitely have fun with this. 3.5 out of 5. let's dive into the pictures and wrap this up. One sec. Okay, and there you have it, folks. The Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Revelations He-Man. By no means is it a terrible figure. It does have some good points. When it's with the Skeletor, it looks great. But then, to be fair, that's because the Skeletor figure is a much personally more vibrant figure, as far as I'm concerned. So, but if your He-Man looks good with your Skeletor, you've done something right. And again, this just reinforces I would have liked to have seen more He-Man and Skeletor in the new series, but I'm getting distracted. This is a solid enough He-Man figure. It's a much more affordable way of introducing new people to the line, which is how you keep the franchise going, I guess. That's a positive you can try and find. It's not as good as the Masters of the Universe Classics figures we got a few years back, but it is much more affordable at the same time, so you've got to expect some sacrifices in quality. It does need better paintwork. The mold, like the chest area, is just awful, and the head is just dire. It's probably the worst He-Man head we've ever gotten, but the sword is good, the shield is good, it moves well enough for what it is, but yeah, it's not great, but it's not an abomination. Yeah, so 3.5 out of 5. And I guess that's it. If you enjoyed this review, we have plenty more. We've got Hero House, The Wreckers, Figure Fights, Top 10 lists, ranking lists, so just loads of content to enjoy. So please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thanks for your time, and all the best. Bye!